Yo, appreciate you stopping in with me. Thank you so much for investing some time in me. My name is Matthew Stevens. I'm a young man on the backside of my 20s, and really, I made this channel, made this video, and really going to embark on this journey to help men be men of God, help men to walk in integrity, and be a big brother to some, be an uncle to some, be a mentor to some, be a father to some, even though I don't got no kids for real. Gotta find my wife first. Amen. Pray for me. And, at the end of the day, like just connect and provide a safe space for transparency, but also accountability. Provide a safe space for, the highest degree of integrity. And I think integrity is missing in today's age with our men today. And so, that's what I'm here for. And yeah, so with that, I just want to dive a little deeper into my journey and my story for real. Like it's very, in a lot of ways it's disjointed, but I'm gonna try to be as structured as possible and not belabor it too much. But this is just more on me for real. Like I said, I'm on the backside of my 20s, and I don't think I'm unk status yet, but gonna be there at some point. But at the end of the day, I'm somebody who I'm originally from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm currently living in the DMV area. Right now in life, I'm like it's good, and the joy of the Lord is here and it's prevalent, and I'm rejoicing in the Lord always. I believe it's Philippians 4 says that it's like rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. But it's like, I know that there's more, and I know that I'm kind of in this season of striving and getting in and really like pressing along and making more of myself and trying things and just trying to be as consistent and persistent as possible. Um, anyway, but how did I get here? So, born in Charlotte, North Carolina, born and bred there. I went to school. Actually, I started at North Carolina State University as far as college and everything. And so I played football there. Um, out of high school, really, I was never even an athlete like that. I was never someone who, I wasn't a 5-star, wasn't a 4-star, wasn't anybody who just was, a freak athlete. Really, like I wasn't even into football or sports for the longest growing up. I was very much to myself. I was like into science, definitely love like video games, and I feel like I had more of, an inclination toward art and just more creative, technological things. But because really my big brother Mike, he played football, and he was always outside. Like it's crazy. Like until Mike pulled me outside to like come play outside, like I was never really outside like that. But I think somehow or another, like I fell in love with the game, but more so the process, and and I think the status of like, oh, I have offers, and my parents don't have to pay for school, this, that, and the third, and so uh, kind of in my earlier years, I was a late bloomer for sure. So some of the guys you watching is you late bloomers, you haven't hit puberty yet. Trust me, don't worry. You gonna hit puberty for sure. If you ain't hit it yet, you gonna hit it. And if you already have and you not satisfied with your height, hey, you gotta work with what you gotta work with. Don't let that be a deterrent. We gonna talk more about that. Just more about confidence and all that. But yeah, so at the end of the day, I was somebody who was a late bloomer in a lot of ways. And I feel like that's a theme of my life. I was always a late bloomer. I was always somebody who was just very, I think, timid. I was a very timid person. I was a very timid kid. I didn't approach a girl, honestly. I didn't like seriously approach a girl, at least successfully, until like late high school, and I really didn't hit my stride with women until college. And so I know what it's like to, feel the most crippling and literally the most like paralyzing fear in just talking to women. And to some, you're like, wow, you don't understand that. You're like, why would you be paralyzed to talk to women? They're just women. They're just human. And to others, be like, oh, I get you. I fully understand. Like, like some people done pee their pants trying to talk to a girl. You know what I mean? Like literally, like no cap, like tweaking. Have a whole bodily reaction to talking to women. You go to them, your heart, you know what I mean? Your heart palpitations and you sweating and all this stuff. And like, boy, like, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that was me. I was a guy who I wasn't very confident. You know, I ain't know how to talk to no woman for real, you know. But and it wasn't even a thing like because I used to be on YouTube like, oh, like how do you get girls? Like literally, no cap, like how to get a girlfriend. I used to Google that in elementary school, dog. Elementary school through middle school, all that, like how to get a girl, how to be cool, like how to attract girls, all that stuff, you know. But at the end of the day, the root thing was for real was my lack of confidence in the guy who made me and who he made me to be. Because at the end of the day, and we for sure gonna unpack this for sure, like it's about you being confident who God made you to be and being confident in your unique attributes, being confident in your height, being confident in your face. Bro, my bad, y'all. This camera was tweaking like bad, bro. It like overheated. So we gonna figure it out. It's the first video, literally. But you know, yeah, I know it's like to, you know, be on a journey, like not be the guy yet. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of school and middle school, high school, all that is status driven. You feel me? But at the end of the day, made it through all that. Eventually, by my, I think, going into my senior year, I believe I got my first offer from Army, which I was so grateful for because that was something like, you know, because growing up, you just like I need D1 offer, I need D1 offer, like literally, like that was a big part of my purpose. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't social in high school, I ain't going to parties. You know what I mean? I was terrified to talk to girls, honestly, and so I wasn't talking to girls for real. You know what I'm saying? And so and going to the Nike camps, the Sparks camps. I don't know if those still going on. VTO. I don't know if anybody remember VTO, but it's definitely on the VTO joint for sure. And at the end of the day, man, like you just kind of get to a point where, you know, you hoping and praying, like, you know, you good enough or whatever. And Charlotte is more of a small market. Like, if you're not really a guy, you're not really a dude in Charlotte, like, you're not really going to get a lot of a hype. I think it's different nowadays, but, you know, before then, man, like, it really wasn't much going on. So, you know, at the end of the day, like, finally got that first offer. This was, like, following the Nike Spark Camp, regional Nike camp at Mallard Creek. Did really well there, tested well. I could have got 100, but I only got like I got like a 97 or 98 on my like little Spark score, which is like if you broke 100, like you was a guy. You see what I'm saying? And so anyway, like ended up getting Army not too long after. I think my next offer was Old Dominion. Not too long after that, had got like Appalachian State, like Western Carolina, Charleston Southern. I think a couple other schools, but eventually, like, you know, and I was grateful for everything I was getting, and like it was a blessing and all that. But at the end of the day, like I knew that, you know, because my junior year, like I wasn't fully healthy. Like I pulled my hamstring, so I literally played. I missed like a handful of games, and like in the games I was in, like I was literally limping like half the film. But you know, still made some shake, so I'm grateful for that. But like I knew, like bro, like I know I'm good enough for ACC, SEC ball. It was Power 5 then, it's Power 4 now, and so following after that, went to NC State. You know what I'm saying? Went to go to some of these camps and all of that to get more exposure and to kind of get my name out there. And eventually, I went to NC State camp. I did really really well there. My brother was already there. My big brother was already there. He was on a full scholarship there. And the crazy part is, till this day, like I did so well. I was a top performer, linebacker there, really defensive player there. And the crazy part was, I think they're going to offer me, but at the end of the day, like I think a Wake Forest camp the night before. Like my dad convinced me to do this Wake Forest camp the night before, and like my legs were shot, so my 40 was terrible, mind you. Like I was a 4.7, 4.6 electric guy. You know what I mean? Like no cap. Like you can look this up. Like ran a 4.7 electric. When I could have got down to 4.6, 4.5 electric easily. But at NC State, like I was on a hand time, I was maybe like a 4.8, like 4.9, like just terrible. And so, but my legs were shot. But I still, even with shot legs, I did great, during the camp. And so I basically, long story long, I ended up, um, getting the, getting breaking through there, but with a gray shirt, which is basically like, hey, you're gonna pay your first, what was it, 4 semesters, so pretty much 2 years, and then we'll put you on scholarship. So it was like a notch above preferred walk on, but not fully, you know what I'm saying, but not fully on. And although I had App State, Old Dominion, and like all these other really, great schools on a full ride scholarship, I decided to go to NC State just because like I knew like I was good enough. Like I knew like that, I can make something shake. And you know, and mind you, like my senior year, I literally played 5 games max, really 4.5, because like my back, you know what I'm saying, my back messed up, and so I'm gonna tell more about my back, you know what I mean. And so anyway, so I went to NC State and I got a gray shirt. But part of the reason why I got a gray shirt, because one, if you remember, I didn't run well, but I performed really well. And then two, I didn't play my whole senior year. So I remember Coach Doran of NC State, he called me up basically saying, like, expressing concern for my back injury, which I had sustained basically squatting too heavy my junior and my junior year of high school. And I always had kind of like back issues while as I was training and stuff like that, just because I was doing too much. And basically, like my senior year, it kind of gave fully out. And so I only played about 4 games, only played some of the important games. And, at the end of the day, just, finally broke through there, you know what I mean? But going to state on, on a partial scholarship or whatever, it wasn't ideal. And it was definitely a burden too, in many ways, because my parents, unfortunately, like dad went through with their marriage and there was some infidelity and things of that nature. And my parents are also pastors. And so like the things that happen in their personal life, and they're good now, you know what I mean, praise be to God, but the things that happen in their personal life literally like compromise their ability to help, you know what I'm saying, with regard to college and paying fees, and you know what I'm saying, paying on time for classes. So like it was tough to be there and not really have the financial backing as a scholarship player does, because back then NIL wasn't a thing. Like it was cost of attendance, but that cost of attendance, a couple thousand, you know what I'm saying, a couple thousand, 3,000, 4,000 a month go far, you feel what I'm saying, depending on, you know what I mean, and depending on like where your kind of where your socioeconomic status was. And so at the end of the day, I ain't have none of that. Like it was just vibes, you know what I'm saying? And like, shoot, and on top of that, so I early enrolled at NC State. This is January 2016, or 2016, wow, 2016. And at the end of the day, I arrived on campus and I was immediately pretty much put in the back brace, which literally looks like a corset. It literally looks like a corset, dog. And so, imagine like I'm a young guy, new to campus or whatever, and I'm having to wear like this big old bulky like corset. I wonder if I could find it. I probably find pictures of it somewhere. But so it's crazy. Like, so the first three, really, yeah, first 3 months of me being at state, so almost a semester, um, I was in the back brace. I was just watching, some of the early enrollees and guys who had, been there at state already train and do their thing. And I'm just on the sidelines. And it was funny because certain coaches like antagonized me and like really were really mean. Yeah, so the coaches can be pretty unforgiving, kick you when you down type of guys. But at the end of the day, uh, you know, after those 3 months, it's like they evaluated, did scans. Okay, back wasn't good yet because I had like fractures in my L4 and L5 pedicles, and so my first 3 months of college, they evaluated me, wasn't good. 3 months after that wasn't good, and then it got to a point, it was like nearly 9 months later, you know what I mean, and we're at August at this point, and kind of at probably around 6.5 months, um, it wasn't improving. It wasn't really going anywhere. And so kind of at a place where it's like, all right, like explore different options. So ended up getting back surgery. And so back surgery was crazy. And like after multiple opinions, they're telling me like, hey, like you may not be able to walk, or play with your kids in the future or ever play football. Like you're at a risk of not even running again if you get this type of surgery. But, by faith still got it. By faith trusted God and knew that he would come through and knew that, he would do an incredible work through me. And so got the back surgery by that next season. It was my redshirt freshman year. I was playing special teams. And, fun fact, I played Lamar Jackson, and I remember, catching a little fair catch during that game where we won versus Louisville. So that was cool. That was special. Ended up transferring to North Carolina Central, continued my football career. And to be honest, like, ended there after a couple years. And, I didn't even end up starting like that. I contributed a great deal, and I was always in the rotation, but I never really started. I was never really the same after back surgery. Like, I'm still a good athlete to this day, but like my lateral quickness and like how I sustain, because like when you hit like big old linemen, it's like you feel it in your back. You know what I mean? And so a lot of that was just very hard to overcome. And so I was never quite the same, but I still contributed and did well. But that was my football life, and I'm grateful for it because at the end of the day, I set out to play Division I football and playing a full scholarship. And although I didn't accomplish that at NC State, I accomplished that at North Carolina Central, and I earned my undergrad degree, and I got a master's degree, almost for free for my master's degree, because I finished the back half of the degree when I was done playing football, when I wasn't on scholarship any longer. So, but really, that's my football journey, and like football is a lot of my life. And I had NFL aspirations. I had aspirations to go to the next level. I had aspirations to be a Hall of Famer. I literally used to tell people I'm going to be an NFL Hall of Famer. Like, you couldn't convince me otherwise, just because I knew I was willing to put in the work. I knew that although I didn't come from athletic parents or athletic background like that, I knew that I feel like God gave me a gift. And when God gives you a gift, it's only right for us to maximize that gift and give it back to him, and maximizing that gift and giving him glory through it. And so, although that plan didn't work for me, I wouldn't be the man I am today without it. I wouldn't be half the man I am today. I wouldn't have half the skin I have. As far as skin, I mean tough skin, the way to get through tough situations, the stick-to-itiveness, the toughness, the mental fortitude, the focus, the discipline, and just being able to withstand hard circumstances, And at the end of the day, I believe it's James in the Bible says, like, the testing of your faith produces endurance. It produces character. It fortifies your character. It helps to increase endurance and kind of that faith muscle, So, yeah. But I didn't even mention, but like in addition to the back injury, like North Carolina Central, you can see it right here, like literally keloids from shoulder surgery from tearing my labrum completely, like turf toe, which is low key turf toe is one of the worst injuries, but so that's a part of my athletic in all that journey for sure. So certainly had a lot of just tribulations and trials and just a lot of battles in my college years, that are really tough to get to, but it was only God that I got through it. It was literally only God that I navigated through that successfully, And so I'm eternally grateful for it. And although I didn't reach my ultimate goal, really I failed at the ultimate goal, I still wouldn't have it any other way. I literally still wouldn't have it any other way. And, the interesting part is, toward the tail end, I did fall out of love with football. I definitely fell out of love with football, but I think God was so gracious to help me to have, a beautiful transition into the real world, and because at the end of the day, when I say the real world, I mean the world of literally like no one is getting paid to help you. In college, as you're a student athlete, it's like you have so many people in administrative positions, from a coach position, from a player personnel position, even, people that feed you, they're paid to help you. It's like, as an adult, as you're adulting and all that stuff, like ain't nobody paid to help you for real. You know what I'm saying? unless you pay them, but you're not getting a lot of help for free unless it's your family. And so that's the reality of it. So I think, for the most part, I definitely had a graceful transition in embracing, kind of the new iteration of life and transition from football. And so, as of right now, I'm living in the DMV. Like I said, after college, I had moved to Texas for a little bit. Love Texas. Probably gonna live there long term. We're gonna see. But had a graceful kind of transition in the sense of landed a sales job, a SDR job, which is sales development rep job, which is for some guys who are looking to where to land and kind of where you want to get your feet wet. If you don't have any specialized knowledge, you're not in STEM, you're not in any kind of medical track in college, and and you don't want to get insurance, don't want to do car sales or whatever, I would definitely recommend kind of getting your feet wet at sales development rep job. So that's what I did, and that taught me a lot. That taught me how to talk to people. That taught me how to talk to very just high level C-suite, CEO, VP type of people, and that thickened my skin. Additionally, it literally thickened my skin, and in a lot of ways, it expanded my network because that first job was a hybrid job, and at the end of the day, through all that, it's I'm in athletics. I'm going through like just like you, wherever you're at currently. You're going through athletics. You're going through kind of these iterations in life, and I've more than likely been there. And so getting to really life on the other side, the corporate life, if you will. It was cool though. You know what I mean? And it's been cool. I'm still in it. Currently I'm working remote, still in the same position, but with the different responsibilities. And I think it's been cool, but I honestly know it's not my purpose. I know that although it's a part of my purpose, it's not my ultimate purpose, in the sense of similar to football. I was never in love with corporate America, but I'm not really passionate about it. But I do understand that sales is a skill that's good to grow and to sharpen, knowing that I'm going to be entrepreneurial for the rest of my life, and I'm going to be somebody who is going to buy, sell, and scale businesses to billions of dollars. And much like you want to scale to billions of dollars. You want to be a millionaire, billionaire. Some people, they just want to make a couple $100,000, and if that's your goal, that's fine. But at the end of the day, if you don't do it through corporate, you have to do it entrepreneurially. You have to do it on your own. You have to do it by making a business. And so I'm not quite fully embracing the entrepreneurial thing, but I am certainly in a place where I have clarity on what my life goal is and what I intend to do, and I think I have enough experience, enough mental fortitude, and just focus to pull those things off, and just ultimately trusting God beyond my own abilities, beyond everything. Literally, Ephesians, I believe it's 3:20 says God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the work that He does through Christ Jesus, in us. And it's it's a God thing. I could be the smartest or whatever, and I'm not the smartest, but you could be the smartest. You could be the toughest, the sharpest, have the best education. But if God not a part of it, it's not gonna go the way you want it to, for real. And it could, but even if God's not in it, it's pointless. It's vaporous. It doesn't mean much. So yeah, so that's a part of my journey at a very, very bird's eye view, at a very high level. And I intend with this channel to go deeper into my journey. I intend to really show you and help you to navigate your own life, to really navigate your own journey, and to really ultimately trust in God more, and to see God in everything more. And with some of the things I've overcome, and some of the mistakes I made, hopefully and prayerfully, I can help you avoid some of those mistakes, and hopefully I can show you a better way than some ways that I chose, and not just ways that I've chose, but some ways that I've seen people choose that I could speak to and let you know, hey, don't go that way, because at the end of the day, I'm a fool, you're a fool for going away or choosing a path that we seen countless people go down. We see people go this way and they crash and burn, they're unsuccessful, they go off the rails or whatever. It's almost like you're on a trail, you're walking down this trail and it's two pathways, you know, and on one side it says, hey, this is to a beautiful scenic view, it's a picnic, tables up there, free food, you know, free hot chocolate, coffee, whatever. And then on the other path it's like, hey, there's it's quicksand over here, it's bears, it's snake infested, all this, and literally you know, 50%, 75% of people die going on this path. But it's and it's like, of course, nobody would pick the path that would cause more danger and harm and not come to a beautiful scenic like place with food and beverages and all that. No one would pick that other path. But in life, a lot of times we literally pick the path that we see people go down. We see people go down a snake infested, bear infested, quicksand infested path. Yet because for whatever reason, you know, we endeavor on that path, although we know it's not successful. And I just think that's idiotic. Like, that's really freaking stupid. And it's like, yeah. And at the end of the day, life is about choosing paths. And it's not all up to us because God gives us the wisdom and the guidance. But ultimately with God's wisdom and guidance, we still have the autonomy to choose paths and, you know, pick and choose between right and wrong and pick and choose between good and bad. And at the end of the day, if I can help you to guide and dodge the bad paths, I think that would be a great thing. So again, thank you for tuning in and more videos to come. I'm really grateful for this journey with you. And comment whatever you may have got out of this video. If you've learned anything, if you're excited, like and subscribe, do what you got to do. If not, that's fine too. But like I said, if you got anything, go ahead and comment and spread the love. And let me know something you're grateful for today. But yeah, love you, care for you, and more importantly, God loves you. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.